Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. For those keenly following me here, I've always maintained that William Ruto is a very cunning politician. What he says in public is very different from what he does in private. In this video, I want us to have a look at a tweet by David Ndii. David Ndii is the chair of Presidential Council of Economic Advisors. Anything to do with the economy, David Ndii is the chair of that council advising William Samoei Ruto. Some few hours ago, David Ndii tweeted, or rather shared out a tweet that confirms William Ruto and his team are mulling at a possibility of reaching out to Raila Odinga for a dialogue, for a handshake. Yes, for a handshake. But before we dig deep into that, let's have a look at a tweet by Audience Director of Communication, Philip Itale, yesterday. Philip Itale, in public, they are chest thumping and bragging and calling people names. At night, they are making frantic phone calls to those they are insulting and sending emissaries. Bwana, maize has never been beans. That's Philip Itale's post yesterday. And Itale was just setting the record straight that what Ruto and his team are saying in public, especially the remarks they made about 2 days ago on the mountain when they were in Nyandarua, insulting, attacking Raila Odinga, in private, they are reaching out to Raila Odinga. In fact, the dialogue, from very credible information we are getting, Ruto himself reached out to Raila Odinga. In public, the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah, Rigathi Gachagua are cheating their supporters. That is Raila Odinga who reached out to William Samoei Ruto. The honest truth, William Ruto reached out to Raila Odinga. And as I talk right now, Ruto is mulling at a possibility, a very high possibility of having a handshake with Raila Odinga. And is the chair of his economic advisors is just revealing that. Let's have a look at the tweet by David Ndii before we continue. Earlier today, David Ndii had this to say. David Ndii, I have news for you. The first obligation of a government is survival and political stability. The more the dynasties foment destabilization, the more we will have to spend on political capital. If push comes to shove, handshake is always an option. How much you think that will cost? Yes, that's David Ndii's tweet earlier today. And he's making it very clear that if push comes to a shove, a handshake is in the offing. This is a tweet Ndii shared out today. In this video, as usual, I want us to dig deep into this story for Kenyans to understand exactly what is happening behind the scenes. If you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's continue. Yes, That tweet by David Ndii is self-explanatory. If push comes to a shove, we will have a handshake. That's what David Ndii is saying. And it's a fact. Things are falling apart for William Ruto. For the first time since independence, we are seeing the government not able to pay civil servants, something that has never been seen or been witnessed in the recent Kenya. For the very first time, we are seeing government sponsoring goons to invade farms, private properties, because of politics. So it means that there is a government that cannot actually outsmart their political opponents. They must use goons to intimidate. For the very first time, we are seeing a government totally confused. People are speaking different languages in government. Top government leaders and officials confirming in public that this is a company. All these are just attributes of a failing government. And I won't be wrong to say that soon, before it goes, very soon, William Ruto is actually going to desperately beg Raila Odinga not for dialogue, but for a handshake. That's something I'm seeing coming out very clearly. But even in the event they have a handshake, that handshake won't be sustained because William Ruto is looking for 2027, as Emil as well are also looking at 2027. So the handshake, in my honest opinion, won't sustain. It will not last because all these are two competing parties. And let me say this, a handshake between Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto will kill Raila Odinga's political career as it builds William Ruto's dwindling political fortunes. Because as it is right now, Raila has been gaining the ground at the expense of William Samoei Ruto. And in fact, even on the mountain has been embracing Raila Odinga in the recent days, courtesy to the fake pledges and promises William Ruto gave when he was campaigning. So as things are right now, Raila is gaining the ground at the expense of William Samoei Ruto. In the event of a handshake with William Ruto, that is going to pacify the ground. The ground Raila Odinga is gaining is most definitely going to dump him, maybe for a William Samoei Ruto. So a handshake with Ruto-Raila handshake will benefit William Ruto more than Raila Odinga. Raila will just be stabilizing the sinking William Ruto's ship. So Raila Odinga should not tempt, or rather even should not even try anything to do with a handshake with William Samoei Ruto. If there are some other things that Raila Odinga and his team believes they can't achieve without working with William Ruto, they can do that, but outside. Not an arrangement where now Raila and his team are going to support the government. That will kill Raila's political career. So Raila and his team should reject and resist any form of a handshake. That tweet by David Ndii, listening to David Ndii, listening to Gachagua, Kimani Ichung'wah, Ndii Nyoro, the likes of Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Ichung'wah, Ndii Nyoro, Something tells me very strongly that they're just being used to cheat their supporters, to hoodwink their supporters. But behind the scenes, things are different. And also listening to William Ruto about 2 days ago speaking in Nyandarua, and listening to him talking some few days earlier, you are seeing is a William Ruto who was attacking Raila Odinga. And that only proves one thing, that the mountain, a good number of the mountain residents might still be sleeping. They are still sleeping. Their elected leaders are actually taking them for granted. They are saying words that might please them, but behind the scenes, the same leaders are doing the opposite. So it's up to the mountain, the ones still holding on to the ethnic stereotyping that has always existed since independence between the mountain and the lake. Let them wake up. Politics of hate, politics of division will not build the country. This post confirms William Ruto is cornered. And the only the only way out of it is reaching out to Raila Odinga and to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Raila should remain firm, Uhuru should remain firm. Ruto and his team, they did spread the bed, let them lie on the bed. But above all, the servers, IEBC servers, should and must be opened. Let's meet in our next analysis. I've pinned my number on the comment section. If you want to support our forum, contact me through the number. God bless you. God bless Kenya.